Bong.
God damn it, Tudor. Hail and well met, weary travellers, and welcome back to the Fireside because it's time for another chapter of the Polyhedron Collider Plays D&D. Tonight, we have the Champions of Chance, and we are, myself, John Cage as Xanhorn the Bard, Ben Hopper as Benjin the Barbarian, Paul Ralph as Cenza the Cleric, Rory Summers as Havarl the Paladin, and last but certainly not least, our benevolent DM, Steve. So, Steve, if you'd like to step once again into the torchlight and resume our story, we shall continue.
Okay, so in the last session, you were on the road and you were heading out. I believe you started in Yartar and you was heading out to Noah's Hold to drop off some horse harnesses. I adventure started with you in the tavern where the Xanhorn the Bard regaled the crowd with his song of Havarl, the Honourable Knight, and Benjin had an arm wrestle with a dwarf and lost.
All went well.
Badly.
You then headed out off easterly towards the Calling Horns and eventually known as Hold. You stumbled across a knight on the road who was searching for any signs of trolls that you may have come across. Apparently there's been more troll sightings recently. You said you hadn't seen any. And then you headed to known as Hold to drop off the harnesses. You stayed in the inn there and met three rather obnoxious toffs who were heading into the woods, into the high forest to hunt down giants. You dropped off the harnesses with an extremely grumpy dwarf and got a bad vibe about the place because you'd heard there was these tales of these like 4 horsemen of the apocalypse kind of thing. 5 horsemen, sorry.
5,
and then realised that you were dropping off 5 horse harnesses and kind of went, hang on.
Wait a minute.
The Cleric and Paladin did a little bit of detecting evil and found something afoot and then decided we don't have time for this crap and headed back towards town and then eventually to head out of Noah's Hold. On the way back, the 2 of the nobles came out of the forest saying that they'd been attacked by a giant and one of their brothers had been killed. You a bit of magic and a bit of intuition, you discovered that what they'd actually done is they'd murdered their brother, and so you had grabbed 2 of them and headed into the forest to find out where they'd found a dead body, and then the last thing that happened is you'd hauled them back into town, into the inn in Noah's Hold, and were waiting for nightfall to pass. And only just in time because more or less as soon as you shut the tavern doors, you could hear the sound of hooves on the road outside.
Yikes.
So that's where we are. You're in the only inn in town with 2 tied up nobles.
Manacled nobles.
Manacled, yes. Silver manacles, no doubt.
Yeah, one of them's in manacles. Or are they manacled together?
Together.
Yeah. Share the wealth of those silver manacles.
Yeah.
With giant copper coins as gags.
Oh, yeah. Forgotten about that. So is it still the evening, or are we in the next morning?
Unless you want to do something in particular, I just assumed it'd be the next morning.
Yeah, I think I'd assumed it was next morning.
Yep, I'm happy with that.
So, Xanhorn, not Falco, Xanhorn will wander down for breakfast and see whether there's any other champions up and about.
No doubt Havarl will be up bright and early.
Absolutely, of course. Up with the dawn.
It's the best part of the day.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'd be up fairly early as well because I wanted to do some magic on the corpse of the dead brother. Yes. I wanted to do a ritual casting of, if you'll bear with me a second, because I've forgotten what the spell is called, and
would it perchance be
Speak to the dead?
No, it would not be. I was going to cast as a ritual Gentle Repose.
Oh, this is to stop them decaying.
To stop it decaying, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we can get it back to Neverwinter, hopefully, in fairly decent state.
Okie doke.
And I would also like to do the same on the giant's head we took.
Yes.
Bag smelling.
You all
Xanhorn
learned
will
a
thank you
valuable
for that.
lesson last time, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, because if memory served, it went a bit squishy last time.
Yeah, that bag of holding isn't the same anymore.
No.
If only it were refrigerated.
I wonder if that could be achieved. If you put ice in a bag of holding. Interesting.
Put a fridge and a generator in there.
It's still going to.
What are these things you speak of?
Okay.
Oh.
So, assuming I see Cenza, I will ask him what he's learned from our dear departed. Did he want to?
Nothing,
Oh yeah, sorry.
to be honest. I wasn't talking to him.
Xanhorn's just assuming. You've been doing a lot of talking without talking recently.
He just rubs.
It only works when I actually have thoughts to read.
True, good point.
So, I believe, unless there's been a change of plans, I think we still need to head to
Everlund.
Everlund. Yes, thank you, my friend. Head to Everlund. We need to see if we can spot Fergalas in his flying castle as we go.
Absolutely.
Take these scallywags with us.
Yes, and turn them over to the Harpers in Everland, I believe, was the plan.
I think that's very sensible. Yes.
Yep.
So one of the brothers, when you start loading them into the car, he goes, "Where do you intend on taking us?"
Is this the one that put up a fight?
Yes.
The previous day, the one with the broken nose. Okay.
Yes.
Do they have names, by the way, Steve, so we can identify them more easily rather than broken
Yes,
eye?
the dead one is called Ranthal.
Yeah.
Ramthal dead.
That's
Yeah.
the dead one. And then the other two are called Marthan and Lesric.
Lesric and Martin.
Marthan.
Marthan, like an alternative spelling of Martin, really. Marthan.
What was the other one? Meswick, do you say?
Lesric.
Leswick.
And who's the obnoxious one?
So Marthon was the one who you've broken a nose of.
Okay, Marthan equals Git.
So Marthorn, Leswick,
And Ranthal.
Ramthal.
He's the dead one, is he?
Yeah.
Yes.
The you mentioned before that they had some shiny weaponry.
Yes.
Is it too late to liberate some of that shiny weaponry?
They've got the. It depends what you did with it, because it was just on the ground when you knocked them out, or you've taken them off, the weapons off them. So,
if I recall, we removed all their weapons from them.
Yep.
And we returned them to the inn and tied them up there, and then we went and looked for Ramthal's body. So
Yes.
all of their gear will be at the inn in a separate room, because they were then locked in a cupboard, weren't they?
Yes. Okay.
So yeah, we've got access to all their stuff, including whatever they had left in their room as well, I suppose. If we
Yes. So most of what they had, they got well-made kit, but most of it is traveling kit.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. So it's camping equipment, traveling clothes. Each one was armed with a rapier.
But they're just standard rapiers, is that right?
Yes, as far as you can tell, very well made and very beautiful looking rapiers. But
Okay.
as far as you can tell, nothing of particular value, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll take it all with us.
Yeah.
And we'll stick it, because we've still got the cart, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
We'll stick it on
Boris.
the cart and Boris. Yeah.
Boris the horse.
Well, of course, actually, we've got at least their 2 horses, haven't we, as well?
True.
So we've now got 2 horses, a cart with Boris, and I noticed. So we sling those 2 on the back of the truck rather rough-handedly.
I say, where do you think you're taking us?
To justice.
This is
Quiet
Martin.
down.
How did he say that? Through his
I assume you haven't. Yeah.
We're not.
Lesric is kind of just trying to get your attention a little bit.
I'll pull
What is it, Lesric?
Yeah, I'll pull the coin out of his mouth. Like, what is it?
Is it can I have a brief discussion away from my brother?
I'll look at the other guys. I guess so.
Yes.
I'll pick him up and carry him like one-handed.
He kind of, as you take it off, he kind of rubs his. Well, as you can no doubt tell, my brother is well, nothing more than an obnoxious cock.
Yes, we had gathered.
Peacock prancing around. Well, he looks you all back and forth, kind of in the eye, and goes, "What would it take for you to leave him behind?"
And
As
just
in-
take you to justice.
Well, maybe that's the wrong word. What can I do to persuade you that? Well, it was all his idea, you see, and I've had nothing to do with this. It was his idea to kill a brother, and he said we could share the inheritance between us, and I feel very bad for that now.
So you
I've
should.
let him sway me, and well, maybe if we just get to the end of the Evermore Way and let me go on my way, and
I see what you're saying here. So you're saying that you participated in the murder of one brother, you want us to kill the other one, and then let you go free so you get all the inheritance. Is that more or less what you're saying?
maybe. I mean, look, he kind of looks you up and down. I mean,
I'm gonna be scowling at him. Like, really, like Havarl normally scowls, but this is like scowl plus 10.
I mean,
I'm just going to crack some knuckles.
you could. I mean, you're riding a decrepit old horse. He looks you up and down and goes, "Your clothes are all worn from travel." I mean,
I think you failed to notice one very spectacular thing about us, is that clearly money isn't what motivates us. We have a higher calling, shall we say. So, so far we've been relatively kind and merciful to you. If you continue talking, then you may find that yourself in Everlund without a tongue.
he's gonna look back, right.
Leave the tongue in. He can't talk and tell us everything he knows about that. Bring them both here.
Xanhorn will lean in a little bit and say, "Prove to me that you had no hand in murdering him, that this was not something that you wanted to do."
How on earth do I prove that? We're in the middle of the woods. It was just the three of us.
Look me in the eye. Tell me.
Okay, so he looks you in the eye. Make an insight check, Mr. Cage.
I'm just going to scratch my nose and tug on my earlobe and give a little cough.
And as he's saying that, channel divinity, and I read his mind.
Okay, Xanhorn. He's telling you the truth.
Okay.
He honestly believes it wasn't his fault. Cenza, he's lying through his arse.
What do you think, Xanhorn? Is he telling the truth?
Yeah, definitely. He's clean. We could probably let him go.
So, what's actually going around his mind at this point? So I can read his surface thoughts.
Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit is what you can hear.
But I mean,
And
we could profit from this, though. I mean, how much were you thinking if we were to let you go?
I assume you're being completely hypothetical here, Xanhorn.
Well,
hypothetically speaking,
from a hypothetical point of view, if you drop me off on the Evermore Way, 500 gold pieces just to
Did I hear that right? 500,000 gold pieces.
I look at
You can
Benjin
see
like,
he's about.
no
he's
one's got
about
that
to
much
say
money,
something.
Benjin.
He looks at Benjin and looks back at everyone else and just ignores Benjin from this point. 500 gold pieces?
Is he still, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit?
No, in his brain you can hear him going, come on, take the 500. Take the 500, let me go. Take the 500, let me go. Come on.
And at this point, I break the mind reading so I can cast suggestion. And the suggestion is going to be, I suggest you stay quiet, speak only when spoken to, and tell the entire and complete truth.
Now, does he get a save for this at all?
Oh, he should have had a save to prevent me reading his mind, and it's DC 15 Wisdom.
DC 15 Wisdom, which I mean... sorry, I missed that. We'll just do it on the rest bit then. Should have kept that on there.
Cenza's got awfully sneaky.
No, he failed.
So yeah, he doesn't get a... He can save against me reading his mind, but doesn't get a save against suggestion.
Okay.
Nice.
Just shuts up at this point.
So that's the end of that then. We take him to Everlund and we seek justice, or we kill them both here. I mean, execute them both here.
I'm just going to look at Havarl. Like, but these guys are assholes. I mean, if we just kill them, that's kind of letting them off.
Execute them. We're not heathens. There'll be we will say some words and they'll be kind of beheaded. And they'll be clean and proper. Which, I mean, let's face it, we take them to Everlund. One of two things is going to happen, really. They're either going to buy their way out, in which case we can find them later and exact vengeance, or they'll be executed for the murder in the first place. But
Xanhorn's going to look at him and say, with real conviction, like probably more conviction than you've heard him say anything with, there are too many nobles that get away with too much shit in this world. It's time someone paid for some of the horrible stuff that they did.
So I'm going to look
and with
at
that,
the
he's
others.
just going to shove the guy, or try to shove the guy on the cart.
Yeah.
Like, that's end of discussion as far as Xanhorn was concerned. You can try and stop him, but...
So what are you? Sorry, John. Are you going to get rid of them, or are you?
No. Xanhorn wants
Yeah.
them to face justice, to be humiliated, to pay in some way with not just their lives, but
Cool.
to actually have to deal with something that they've done.
Okay. Yes, I agree. How about then? How about we parade them? How about we parade them through the streets of Everlund?
Now you're talking.
I'm sure we could find a priestess to ring a bell behind them.
Yes. Let's make it as difficult for them to, even if they were to somehow buy their way out of a murder, that their reputations are ruined. But I think, yes, let's bring them to justice. Let's do it in Everlund. Let's speak to the Harpers. They might be able to advise us further.
Xanhorn looks slightly relieved that he hasn't had to try and fight his way through the other guys, and satisfied that that we all agree that these bastards need to pay for what they did.
Yes. Is it perhaps, could we put, they mentioned that their parents are dead. Do they have any other family? I mean, we need to alert them to what has happened.
They said they were
Ask
the
him.
last of
He'll
their
tell you.
line, but we could ask them again to double check.
Ask him again. He will tell you the entire and complete truth for the next 8 hours, won't you, my friend?
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good.
So, still quite in kind of menacing intimidation mode, I'm going to get right up in his grill. Family. Who of your family have left in Neverwinter or anywhere?
We've got an uncle.
What's his name?
Well, he's Lord Derivos.
Lord
Derivos the Younger.
Lovely. Now, do you have any? Do you have wives or children, nieces of your dearly departed brother? Anyone that's going to suffer because of your malicious behaviour?
No, he was. He might.
Oh,
have
we
some,
can be thankful for that. You can shut up now.
He might have some.
Unless we ask you,
if you know what I mean.
Right.
Okay. Cenza, could you? Is there a way of you to get a message to someone in Neverwinter to alert Lord Deravos of what's happened, so they can be prepared for it when we send the body over?
Indeed. Do I recognise the name Lord Deravos?
On the basis that your family are tailors to the rich and famous, then yes, you would have recognised Lord Deravos. You would have also recognised that the Deravos is the family name, and there are the two lords. So they would have been sons of the older lord, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm going to cast send a message back to the Temple of Ogma in Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Please pass message to Lord Deravos, whatever the name of the murdered guy is, because I can't remember, because my note's all the way over there. Ranthal Deravos, murdered by brothers. Body being sent through Harper Teleport Network.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Murderers to be shamed in Everlund. 25 exactly.
You're very good at this, Cenza.
Too good.
Also, get us for taking notes. We were all ready to jump in with the Ranthal then, weren't
Yeah.
we? Well done, guys. It's only taken us a year.
Speak for yourself.
No, I don't, John. You've been doing it. You've been holding up the team all this time. And you, Paul. No.
And you, Ben. Hang on a minute.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we will then.
So these are my notes.
Nice. So we'll load them on the cart. We will take their horses and we will ride to Everlund. Dun 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 dun. Oh, second place. Let's not go there. It's a silly place.
So
as we go, we will be keeping our eyes peeled, especially Benjin with his million-mile sight, for a cloud castle containing a poor and helpless dragon.
Do we need to consider which of us are mounted? Since we've got someone's going to have to be driving the cart. Do we have Ranthal's horse as well, or did they?
No, Ranthal's horse ran away.
Ran away. So we've just got
somewhere in the forest.
Maths. We've got 2 horses and the cart. So, just in cases, who wants to be driving the cart?
I pictured Xanhorn doing it still.
Okay.
Smashing. Cenza?
I'll take one of the horses, and it might make sense for Benjin to stay in the back of the cart.
Yep.
Okay. All right, I'll take the other horse then.
Bearing in mind, you're also riding in the back of the body with the corpse.
Well, the corpse is in the bag of holding, though, right?
It's this. Engine's asleep. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry, my Discord crapped out
Yeah, same.
for a second now.
Mine's still crap.
Oh, come on,
You guys
Discord.
think a lot of-
It is shitting itself for me.
No.
Hello.
Hello.
Aha!
Hello.
It's back. Okay, there we go.
Oh, it wasn't just me then.
No, I think it was all one of us.
Oh, how odd.
I don't know if we've got Steve back yet.
No, I can hear you, but you're still. John hasn't moved in like 5 minutes.
No. And the voice is very chippy choppy as well as the video.
Trippy copy.
I could disconnect and reconnect briefly. And resume the game. Hopefully Discord will be kinder from us to us from here on in.
Okay. How are you rocking and rolling?
Let's go.
Right. So you headed out from Nona's Hold. You spent the first day heading south on the Evermore Way and are now heading east.
Head north.
Northeast.
Yeah.
head north from Luna's Hold, and now you've hit the Evermore Way and you're heading northeast, skirting along the outside of High Forest and heading towards Everlund, with the misty expanse of the Evermoors taking up your view on your left-hand side as you travel onwards. First day, so you've travelled a day, pretty uneventful, really. That'll be
No sign
2
of
days.
castles.
No sign of castles. You're keeping a careful eye out. Benjin's using his eyes as the hawk. But there's no sign of anything. But you can only see a few miles into the Evermoors because the Evermoors itself is, of course, about 120 miles across.
Even Hawkeyes aren't going to help much there.
That seems reasonable.
Havarl, how's the cartwheel looking? Is it still holding?
There hasn't been any problems with it since you had a look at it before. Well done, Benjin. But thanks for thinking of it.
Well fixed, Benjin. Steady as a rock.
Okay. So on the third day of travel, you reach the branch in the road heading north to Olostin's Hold. But I assume you are carrying on with your journey to Everlund.
Unless we see some reason to take that path, I would have thought Everlund is our goal.
Okay.
I would agree.
I concur.
Okay, so the rest of the journey is completely uneventful, and you head to, after about 5 days of travel, the city of Everlund.
City.
Well, it's a large town, might be a better way to describe it.
Do any of us know anything about Everlund? Or is it a surprise to all of us, do you think?
There's nothing in the book I bought.
Happen to know there's some stuff in Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide.
What about Everlund?
Yeah, because I looked up some stuff.
I couldn't find it.
So, Havarl might know a little bit about it, because Havarl is actually from the other side of the Anarok Desert, but you were involved in the War of the Silver Marches, if I remember rightly?
Yes.
So the Silver Marches are kind of a couple of hundred miles northeast of here, so you may know a little bit about it. It's basically just like a merchant. It's one of these kind of crossroad merchant towns, taking stuff from the dwarven city of Sundabar and the elven city of Silvermoon, and then transporting it to various places thereon. So,
and I'm from the Silver Marches.
Yep. So you might have passed through there, Benjin, or you might have just avoided it completely because you're Benjin, and there's not much reason to go into at least human places, civilized places.
Yeah, but don't forget my tribe is semi-civilized because they're farmers and that, rather than just they've lost most of their barbarians.
True. So you come in via the south gate. And of course, as you approach further to the city, to the town, you get ever closer. You get more farmsteads, logging camps, the odd quarry and mine past you as you go through the hills. Plenty of logging camps taking wood from the great forest. Plenty of farmland immediately around the area as well. The thing that strikes you as you approach, because it's kind of visible from quite a distance, is this point here, which is this huge black tower which overlooks the entire rest of the town. It appears to be like I've made some from black stone, basically.
As in like a night stone type material?
No, more of a dark granite.
Okay, fair enough. I was reaching, let's face it.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we've encountered anything along that plot line.
Anything along the storyline. Yeah.
So there's absolutely massive walls surrounding the entire town, and as you approach in, you're starting to get that kind of view of what you get in one of the northern towns and cities of a Sword Coast. Everything's got steep pitched roofs ready to. So any snow during the winter months falls off quite easily, and you've got a kind of a bustling market town ahead of you. So you've come in from this direction here. So you're coming via 6, which is the Evermore Way, and you get to Bridge Gate, which is your typical kind of town opening. And you get a few looks off the city guard as
Before we get to the gate, I think we'd make them disembark. We were going to make them walk, right?
Absolutely, yes. We're going to make them walk. We should have spent the last 5 days constructing some sort of sandwich board for them to wear.
Murderer, just as murderer across it.
Yeah, just murderer, and maybe the well recognised like symbol of murderer for those illiterate people in Everlund, so everybody knows.
Xanhorn's drawn like a crude picture of like a person with a knife, just like.
I think that's a very clear symbol.
Yeah.
Yes. So the guards at the gate take notice of you with your
murderers.
With your murderers, like
clearly labelled murderers.
What are you doing with them?
Bringing them to justice.
All right, you're bounty hunters.
Something like that.
Well, welcome inside then. In you go.
Thank you.
So, where would you like to head?
Do we know where the Harpers would be here, or should we drop these off with the local constabulary?
I suggest the local constabulary would be a good place to start, at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll ask the guards. Friends, as you can see, we have these two riffraff here. As I say, we're after no bounty. We just need them to serve justice. We need to speak to someone who can dispense that justice, if you understand my meaning. Where would be best to go here? We are strangers in your land.
Where did this kind of crime happen?
That would be
no one else hold.
Yeah.
Were we going to keep that a secret?
No.
No. Okay. For spite and for greed, they killed their own brother.
The fact that it happened outside of Everlund is gives us a bit of issue, I suppose. They look a bit confused as what to do. So you haven't already got someone already. You're not claiming a bounty?
Well, we were the first witnesses to this crime.
Xanhorn will interject and just say, "If there is a bounty, we'll take it." Does that simplify things?
I'd head to the market square and the Hall of Elders. Hopefully, someone there can assist.
Do I get the impression that these guys are either utterly useless or being deliberately obtuse, or do they just really genuinely not know?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
Oh.
So it sounds like they're genuinely confused.
Okay.
Because do a history check as well.
Oh, a history check as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Not so good on my history.
That's not bad. You've heard rumours that Everlund has left the Lord's Alliance. So there may be some confusion that basically what they don't know kind of where their borders begin and end. So although you can kind of push this, and there's some constabulary and there's the barracks and such like, they're not quite sure really how to help you. So they just basically suggest heading to the barracks and handing them over there.
Okay. Can
Rory, you're muted.
Sorry, yeah. Kids are going mad in the room next door, so I'm on and off. So there isn't like a fiefdom. There isn't like an area that, so this is the city and this is the town, and then they own the surrounding areas. So who owns, like, I'm just trying to understand, like, the geography, the landscape of kind of the Sword Coast here.
Right, Sword Coast is a bit of a Wild West kind of thing. Is the best way to think of it. Think of it more like when the pioneers went to kind of the Americas. So each kind of town and city is more or less its own thing. There's no king, there's no rulers. That's why, like, Waterdeep is seen as such a big thing, because it's such a big city, and that's why people are attracted to these big cities on the Sword Coast. And Neverwinter and Waterdeep are where people go, because there is law and order there. Whereas out in the wilderness, it's a little bit kind of Wild Westy. There's a bit kind of, if an area is affiliated with the Lord's Alliance, then there's a little thing there. Everlund's reach might not stretch very far, if that makes sense.
Okay,
right. So, I suppose given that, we just want to get these guys. Do we want to get them straight back to Neverwinter?
Yeah, I think so.
They stand the most chance for receiving justice for their crimes there. They are citizens of Neverwinter, after all.
But that's also where all their access to money and powerful friends are going to be.
Did Lord Deveros come back to us?
You didn't contact Deveros directly, did you?
No, I can't. I contacted the
they've just taken it and acknowledged the message as a heads up.
Yeah, understood.
Okay. Can I use sending to contact the guy who works at the teleport linkage in Yartar, the stroppy guy?
Yeah.
And say to him, Cenza Ykril, Champions of Chance here, in Everlund, how do we contact the agent running the teleport linkage here? 19.
Why does he always have to say their number after he says it? Weird.
Idiot.
I knew it was going to start with that. I absolutely knew it.
They already know you're here. Oh, there, sorry.
Yeah.
Just go grab a drink.
Okay.
At what's the name of the pub?
The Slaughtered Bard.
At Danivar's house.
Oh, close.
Just go grab a drink at Danivar's house.
Okay.
Danivar's house it is.
Benjin, pub time.
I find it with my nose.
Which way is it, Benjin?
So you cross over the river through the market square, and you arrive in. You tie up the horses outside and get to Danivar's house, a pretty sizable, pretty grand tavern in the middle of Everlund.
Are they going to let Benjin in?
Well, his reputation does not precede him quite yet, so they see no issue.
When Havarl says that, Xanhorn look at him and say, "When has anyone ever been able to stop Benjin going into a pub?"
That's a very good point. Oh, I did it once.
True. And he just about survived too.
Right, so what are you doing then?
Taking them to the portal, I think.
Well, we've got to wait here, haven't we, for Harper to come and get us. So
I'll buy a round of drinks.
Water for me, please.
2 beers arrive.
Benjin knows not to waste good beer now.
Finally.
How much is it for 3 beers and a water?
think you should have this tabbed in your.
I should actually. Yeah, I need a little quick crib sheet.
I
Actually,
have actually put a tab in my player's handbook entitled "Booze."
In fact, what do people want? Me rudely going and getting beer.
Well, what time of the day is it?
That is a good
That's so
question.
very sensible, Cenza.
Yeah.
I think it's towards evening. Actually, it would be evening time by the time you got there. So by the time you've actually got through across town and saddled the horses up, it'll be after tea time.
Right. I will buy a round of drinks and a big lump of meat.
So, of course, mugs of beer are 4 copper pieces each,
Okay.
and a meal. It's a big chunk of meat. A comfortable meal is 5 silver pieces.
So 4 copper.
Oh, meat chunk.
5.
3 silver pieces for a chunk of meat.
3 silver.
Yeah, for a
So-
chunk of meat is 3 silver.
So how much? How much is that in total?
What you're buying? 4 drinks.
Yeah.
3 drinks.
Oh, 3 drinks and a chunk of meat.
Unless they're going to charge you for water, heathens.
That's 4. That's 12 copper pieces for the beer and 4 silver pieces for the meat.
12 copper. Sorry, 12 copper, 3 silver.
Yeah.
I'll
Have
work
we,
that out in a second.
What are we doing with the brothers? Are they with us? Just for clarity.
Yes,
That's what I'm asking.
they're with us, and they're stood by the table awkwardly. Still with
So,
the murderer placards over their heads.
We're just going to sit and dine. With
Tell you what, the description for Toll the Dead says it actually makes a dolorous bowel sound. So I could just be sitting there going, dong. Not actually attacking anyone.
Better than that, if you remember, Xanhorn picked up a gong. So every time the conversation has lulled back to normality and everyone's half forgotten about this, Xanhorn will just stand next to them and go, bong.
Is there anything anyone can do for my migraine?
Xanhorn will offer you his beer.
Very good. Very
So,
good.
I can cast Lesser Restoration on you should you need it, Havarl.
Thank you, my friend. It was more a point that I'm really quite fed up of that gong.
So it's not long. The serving wench brings you your food and your beers. And it's not long before this quite distinctive gentleman turns up. But he appears to be half orc. You can tell by the slightly greyish-green skin and the prominent underbite. But he seems to be dressed as like the barman or innkeeper, and he's more distinguishable because he's only got one eye.
Okay.
And he comes over and goes, "Gentlemen, can I ask what's going on here?"
Can
We
I
are
see
enjoying
if he's
a
got
fine-
the harp and symbol anywhere on him?
Make a perception check.
No.
We're waiting for a certain persuasion of musical instrument player, and I'll wink at him.
I see. And what are these 2 gentlemen doing?
Well, they're not murdering anyone anymore. You're not murdering anyone anymore, are you?
Bong.
So, he sits down, he joins at the table, he goes, "May I be so rude as to inquire where you gentlemen are from?"
Around, I would say. We travel wide and far. You may well have heard of us as the champions of chance, though. And Xanhorn will do his normal wavy bow thing.
So, sorry to be rude, I've not seen you folks here before, and I'm always curious of new faces.
I myself are from Neverwinter, as are these 2 lovely gentlemen. They're very much looking for a fast way home.
Okay. So, travel through Tribor on your way, perchance?
We have, yes.
Oddly, yes, we did.
That's
Were we meant to be talking this kind?
Well, I got an old friend there. He kind of leans himself in and gets more comfortable. He goes, my old friend Darathri used to live there. She used to be lord of the town. Bump into her at all?
Yes.
Yes, we did actually.
How's she doing?
Hypothetically, you wouldn't happen to be... Scrolly, look it up. Where did it say? Oh, I need to get these in better order. Barman in Danavar's house, Everlund. Speak. You're not Urglar Mortimer by any chance, are you?
Urglar Mortimer.
No, that's a woman. I think.
I don't think I know that name.
But we do have something. If you're a regular here, perhaps this will mean something to you. And Xanhorn will pull out a coin with 3 boars on it.
He looks at it and goes, "Okay. Is there a message to go with this item?"
Only to those that have a name.
Well, sir, I am Drell Feller, proprietor of this joint. Welcome, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It was a very lovely meal, by the way. Thank you.
What was his name, sorry?
Drell Felev.
Well met, friend.
So I take it by the how you have that coin that you do have a message for me from my old friend.
There was a message to talk to.
We're all just staring expectantly at Xanhorn at this point.
It was a message from Doratha Sandril, the Lord Protector, and it was... God, I found it a minute ago. Here we are.
Good work, John. Good work.
We were just told to mention Doratha and speak to your good self.
So how's she doing then?
She's okay. We helped defend the town from a fairly nasty onslaught.
An onslaught, you say? She survived? She's okay?
She is. We fought side by side.
What against, if you don't mind me asking?
Fire giants, orcs on stalks, a tribe of...
Axebeaks. He means Axebeaks.
No, I don't. A tribe of fairly fierce-looking orc warriors.
Yes. And what were those fancy Uruk-hai style orcs called again?
Yeah, like I said, fancy orky things.
Fancy orky things, orcs.
On stalks.
Orcs on stalks.
Yep.
Those fire demons, they were there as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Don't
those
forget the magma
exploding little
demons.
buggers.
Sounds like you did very well.
It was an adventure.
It was. But the champions of chance prevailed once again.
He waves his hands, and one of the servant wenches comes over, and he whispers something to her. Gives her a nod. And, well, I think you did particularly well, my friends. Glad to see that my old friend is still alive and doing well. Sounds like a fight against a couple of fire giants. Sounds one hell of a fight.
It surely was.
Absolutely.
Some of us nearly died. And Xanhorn will look down at like the holes in his shirt.
So it's not long before the serving wench he called over comes back with a tray, and on the tray are 4 glasses and a bottle of wine. It's rather dusty. Well, gentlemen, I think you deserve a very small recognition of your actions in saving and helping my friend. This, holds up the bottle, is one of Silvery Moon's finest. Brewed by the elves. They said it tastes like your favourite drink. I think it would only be fair that each of you take a sip of this, because you're not going to find this many other places. And proceeds to pour out 4 glasses.
So, is this magic wine?
Easy, Benjin.
It's rumored to have magical properties and give you the flavour that you most desire.
Xanhorn will pick his up and swill it around the glass and look at it, and then stare at it a little bit closer, because he's not had the best luck when people have given him drinks before. I don't mean to sound rude. I'm sure this is delicious, but It's definitely not poisoned, is it? Only
No.
I've had some bad experiences.
No. I assure you, this is not poisoned.
And do we get the sense that he's being very honest and very friendly here? This seems like a little bit too good to be true.
Make an insight check.
Yeah, he's up. He's fine.
He's absolutely fine.
Yeah. Straight as an arrow. He's been absolutely. I mean, he's just gone and got this really old bottle of wine. I mean, he had to blow. It was an inch thick in dust. God knows when this was put down.
Oh, bottoms up, gents. It's nice that someone's nice to us for a change.
Well, this seems. How do you?
I watch Xanhorn very, very carefully.
What's it taste like?
What does Xanhorn taste?
Xanhorn, you taste the finest elven nectar you've ever tasted. It's almost like
God.
It's almost like it's not even wine. It tastes just like it's got that slight little bit of acidity, but at the same time it's fruity, but not too sweet. It just goes down like some kind of nectar.
I will look at the guy and shake his hand and say, that is, without doubt, the best drink I have ever tasted.
But it must have been a lot stronger than you first thought, because it's taking its effect really quick.
Oh, this,
Xanhorn's head just slumps down as he falls asleep, and then he dematerializes in front of, just vanishes from in front of you.
What?
That is some good shit.
I'm gonna jump up and grab this one-eyed half-orc.
He puts his hand up before you do and goes, "You wanted to speak with the Harpers, did you not?"
Yes, but I did not want to lose my friend.
Then drink up and join him.
I'm afraid I don't drink alcohol, you see.
This isn't alcohol. If you want to meet the Harpers, I suggest you drink up. I was hoping you'd all toast together, but your friend was a bit too keen to get the
He tends to do that.
From what the stories I've heard, I was expecting your barbarian colleague here to be the first drink, but
it's wine and not beer. Had it been that way, it would have been gone.
No, alcohol's fine. It's elven and magical. But then again, Benjin's just like Benjin's fuck it. You've got to try every drink going. Bottoms up, glug. Oh, what's it taste like to me?
Like the finest
Sorry.
Uthgard barbarian brewed mead you've ever had.
Okay. I was going to say something much more vulgar, but
So Benjin drinks it and exactly the same. He seems to slump off and then just kind of dematerializes, just vanishes from in front of you.
I was going to look to Cenza. He said, I'm not drinking that.
Bottoms up. Keep an eye on these two.
Good plan.
Three
Thank you, my
party
friend.
members dead.
And to Cenza, it tastes like the perfect cup of tea.
Yes.
Brilliant.
Brewed perfectly.
But still, my friend, I shall decline your very kind offer. I shall wait here for their return.
Very well.
Should they not return, we'll have some more questions for you. This is where I can find you, isn't it?
Don't worry. They'll be back soon. You, if you need anything, grab one of the girls. It'll be on the house. And with that, he heads back to the bar and walking past him, he goes, "Hey, Diggle, how are you?" kind of thing, and just starts mingling with the crowd, leaving you to your table with your one glass of wine still in front of you.
I'm going to throw it on the floor. I don't want anybody else to.
and all our beer and meat.
I'm going to finish my dinner.
So Havarl sits in relative silence, tucking into this food, while the two Neverwinter nobles look on in hunger.
Where's that fecking gong? Is that still on the table?
Yes, it will.
I'm pretty sure he left it on the table, so if you want to do something with it.
The other three of you kind of come to, and you're sitting in like a kind of a lounge on several comfy sofas, with like a coffee table in front of you, and a very well made up room. It's very poorly lit though. It seems to be just lit by kind of some magical. It doesn't appear to be lit by torches. There's the odd one or two kind of magical lights around the room.
I believe Xanhorn and I have dark vision.
Correct.
True, but there's enough light in there, so it's not darkness completely,
Okay.
but it's dimly lit, shall we say. Mood lighting, as it were. You're startled a little bit first because there is movement in the room, but you quickly notice it is a couple of house cats just walking around, but rather than normal house cats, they've got wings.
Ooh.
Fascinating.
Like the ones that we saw in that
Nightstone.
town, Nightstone. There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Do
not.
I know what they are?
They're Tresserum.
Okay.
Winged house cats, basically. You kind of start coming to and kind of just get a view of your surroundings, and you can hear kind of some shuffling outside, and then this door opens, and this kind of late middle-aged man with like a wizardy robe, like almost like traditional wizardy robes and a big scraggly dark beard with a hint of grey at the edges, comes in and there you are. Excellent. Ooh. Hello.
I'm gonna sit up and pat myself down. Like, is all my stuff here?
Yeah, all your stuff appears to be there. Yes.
Okay. Hello. Are we dead?
Don't be silly. No.
It doesn't look anywhere near enough like a library, dear boy.
What just happened?
Well,
that was good wine.
yes, I guess you teleported here. I thought it might be of use. Yes, I mean, have a chat with you. See you there. There's supposed to be 4 of you.
Yeah, we're not a very trusting bunch. I mean, I'd call it experienced. So, 3 of us went, and I guess Havarl stayed behind, just in case the 3 of us didn't come back.
Oh,
Yeah, let's go with that.
Fair enough. My name's Crowin, by the way.
Crowin. Well, I guess
Crowin
nice...
Valharrow. Well met. You must be the champions of chance. Yes,
we are. And without thinking about it, Xanhorn just does the, and then like, oh right, no, we're unhappy about being transported here against our will.
Crowin what?
Valharrow.
Valharrow.
Correct.
Could we not have just? I mean, you could have just sent someone to get us, and we could have come. Where are we anyway?
Well, you're in Moongleam Tower, of course. And besides, we could have just said, but where's the fun in that? It gives you a wink.
I'd give Xanhorn a bit of a look, so I'm thinking, surely you'd be the one who'd appreciate a bit of drama.
I will at that point say, it would make quite a cool bit of a story.
So, been gallivanting up and down the Forgotten Realms, I see. Up and down Fair and up and down the Sage Sword Coast.
That's what heroes do.
So what's going on? What can you tell me?
Do we get the sense that this guy is good or bad or...
It's hard to tell. He's sat across from you right now. One of the cats is in his lap and he's stroking it. And he just seems maybe a little bit balmy around the edges and he's just kind of staring at you expectantly at this point.
Say, I mean, there is a lot going on, but who are you to us?
Well, you've been taking use of my rather splendid, if I don't say so myself, teleportation circles lately.
They were your work.
Yes, rather
We
proud.
owe you a debt of gratitude then, sir.
Especially the one in Mirabar. If those dwarves ever find out about that, they'll skin me alive.
Xanhorn will laugh out loud, like pretty much instantly at Happy now, and then he'll just retell everything that they've done in far more heroic detail than actually happened. So we rescued people in Nightstone, and there were giants, and we got them out. And then the villagers, they were captured by goblins, and we got them out. And then we went and fought more giants, a whole army of giants, and it carries on.
And all the while, I'm sitting there flipping through my book and just nodding at the true parts. Just a one giant.
Okay, so you went from Nightstone to Golden Fields, then to Waterdeep, which is when my agent first approached you.
Yeah.
Then Neverwinter, as my memory serves me correct.
That's
yes.
right. And back to
then
Waterdeep.
Back to Waterdeep. Then you've headed to Tribor, where
Yeah.
you met some fire giants, you say.
Indeed.
Yes.
And then you've headed here with
Uh,
a note to guests in tow.
Yes, I also just popped back to Neverwinter to buy some books. I hope that was all right.
Right, yes. No, fair enough. You seem to be doing good work. Now, the question is, what have you learned? Because, well, whereas we're well aware of the giant threat.
I hear the word learnt, and I grab the bag of holding of Xanhorn and just keep bringing out all my books and all my notes. Well, you see, this is what I learnt about the pile of orc skulls we saw, and this was the goblin hucker. See, this is how I think they work with the, moments.
It is, quite frankly, Cenza, fascinating stuff.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed.
Much as I would genuinely love to go through these books with you, I don't think we have the time. Your friend in them.
Yes. To the point, then, they're building a dragon-killing golem, or at least they're trying to.
That's
what?
That's one of them. There was also they're also trying to find the Drakhorn. Was it called?
No, wrong campaign.
It's a bit like that.
That happened months ago.
Shh. Where's it gone? The Orb of Dragonkind. Was that it?
I heard about that, and I think you were told quite clearly to get rid of it. Where is it?
It's been safely destroyed by a very powerful individual.
Excellent. That's what we'd like to hear. Now, so you're saying that the fire giants are trying to build this golem?
Yes. But we've got their adamantine finding device, and Xanhorn will like ka-ching, ka-ching. Oh, it's heavy.
He takes this as a good
one of them at least.
So they're going to have difficulty finding it without that. We also stole part of this device, and we've secured it in Yata, thank you.
Okay, very interesting. So, are the fire giants leading this mess?
There seems to be some disarray amongst the giants.
We believe the ordning has been broken, and a giant civil war may even be brewing.
Okay, that's worrying.
So we've taken it upon ourselves to find allies of the dragony variety to try and prepare a defence, because we believe this is going to come to a head in... How long has it been since we've did the discerning? It's going to be like tomorrow, isn't it? It was a couple of months or something originally.
It has been...
Oh, right, yeah.
It has been about 2 months since you first started the campaign.
So it wasn't straight away in that, but it was quite close to the start. Like maybe a week in or something. We were told it was going to be about 2 months away before things came together.
Came to a head.
Yeah. So we know that the Nightstone was taken. I suspect that was probably part of this device.
Indeed, it was on the Cloud Giant's city of Lin Amal, which was heading towards the Evermoors.
It was.
Your back garden, as it
yes.
case may be.
Of course, yes. So, what I ask is, what is your intentions now, and what do you think you need?
Well, we know that one of the dragon folk that we befriended is currently being captured, has been captured, and is currently being held captive in Linar Mal, which we believe is somewhere in the Evermoors, floating cloud castle. So Sansori, who heads up that particular castle, she's holding him against his our friend against his will. So our intention was to try and rescue him. But to do that, we're going to need some means of flight. And I look at the other guys. We can't do that yet. Can't do that yet, right?
Well, 1 minute a day, not really good enough.
Yeah, I don't think you can take the rest of us with you either.
No. We also need to get the two murderers and their unfortunately deceased brother back to Neverwinter to face justice.
Indeed.
We'll sort that out.
Thank you.
I think you have more important concerns than dealing with a couple of murderers.
These are particularly despicable murderers, though.
Quite frankly, the idea of a fire giant golem is far more worrying to me than two nobles having a spat.
True.
So once we've got, we've tried to contact a lot of people about the, was it the Vonin Dodd? Is that what it was called?
Yeah.
To find out what we could do about it. However, wait, what?
Yes.
However, I've lost my train of thought. Giant killing sword? What? Yeah. So we needed to get rid of that device in some way. So we were thinking maybe we could melt it down, sell the bits, and if that's enough to destroy the chances of assembling it, that could be worth it. But we've contacted a lot of knowledgeable people, and no one's been able to tell us definitively what we can do with it. And it literally weighs a ton. Is that not right, Benjin?
Yeah, that was definitely right.
I can definitely look to some people in it. I would say, actually, one of your... if you're not sure what to do with it, you can probably find some dwarf somewhere who'll buy it and wants to make some weaponry out of it. Or some jewellery. They'll find a use, no doubt. Now, may I ask, how much contact do you have with some previous associates of yours?
We haven't spoken to them for a while. And by
no, it tends to be quite depressing.
Well, I'm trying to log what's kind of happening. You're saying that are you suggesting that all the other giants are working towards building this giant golem?
The only ones we're aware of any interest are the fire giants at the moment, but should the Nightstone prove to be part of this construction, there may be two factions indeed.
My contacts in Bryn Shander, north of the spine of the world, said that there was a massive attack by frost giants, which some people I thought you were associated with were involved in, but theirs has me concerned. But if you haven't had contact with your colleague, your colleagues,
it's quite difficult. We can talk to them, and then they reply to us. I don't believe they can send it. I don't believe they can actually send us a message. And as I said, they're rather depressing to talk to.
They're dicks.
Fair.
Fair enough. I did wonder that. Yes.
Is it worth me giving it a go now?
If you think that there's some information that they could help us with, then yeah, I definitely think we should give it a shot. I will say to Tressum. No, Crowin. Sorry.
Tressum's the cats.
Yep. As soon as I said it, I was like, no, that's not right.
So, I think more information seems to be what is needed at this point.
Indeed.
I'm intrigued. Is the hill giants attacking the fire giants are building something? The frost giants appear to be after something else entirely, from what I can tell.
The hill giants, as far as we could see, mostly seemed interested in acquiring stores, in ransacking villages and towns to acquire grain and meat and general supplies like that.
Okay.
Their actions do tend to fit in with their place in the Ordnings. Hill giants tend to be the word I'm thinking of begins with P, but it's not preservers and it's not protectors. It's providers. The fire giants are constructors, builders, artisans, and the frost giants, I don't have inner knowledge. Let me check my handbook.
So the other thing that we were doing whilst we're looking for our friend, or trying to spot this castle in the Evermoors, is past Everlund. We were heading in the direction of Silvery Moon to find a sword we believe might help us take down some giants ourselves. And with the aid of that and our dragons that we've befriended, assuming we can find them all, we're hoping we might be able to defeat this menace once and for all.
Ah, yes, frost giants are warriors, so an attack would make sense.
So are they, do you think, building for some kind of invasion or something?
Could well be.
Giants getting supplies, frost giants on the march. Any indications of what the stone giants or the storm giants is up to?
Was it the storm giants we found in Neverwinter? Or was that the stone giants again?
No, the storm giants are the ones with the castle, so I believe.
Yeah, I think that might be a hole in our knowledge.
Okay. Well, basically, I want to help you.
Well, that's not an offer we get very often.
Yes,
We'd like you to help us.
First of all, some information I think is at hand. You're after some way of flying over the Evermoors, yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Just the other side of the Nether Mountains, past Silvery Moon and head east, you'll find the town of Hawk's Nest.
Head west from there.
Head north to Silvery Moon and then head east, sorry.
Sorry, okay.
So directly over the Nether Mountains if you wanted to take a shortcut, but it's probably not much of a shortcut. You'll find Hawk's Nest. Hawk's Nest are known for their hippogriff riders.
Yeah. Is that on the way to Sunderbar?
It is indeed on the way to Sunderbar.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, my teleportation circles don't stretch that far. Not a major population area. I don't know what you'll have to do to get a hippogriff or be trained. I can imagine it won't be cheap, but you might be able to lend a favour there or what have you and convince them. Tell me, is your absent friend, is he a member of the Order of the Gauntlet, perchance?
Why, yes.
Well, I should imagine if he sweet talks his way, he can probably be trained. He can probably convince them to train him to ride a hippogriff. Now, what was it we wanted in Silvery Moon?
We heard tale of an artifact, a sword which granted strength against giants. Lord Z. Morven.
Oh, not Silvery Moon, then Zamorvan Hall.
So that was one.
Zamorvan Hall, yes. Unfortunately, that's in the opposite direction to Hawk's Nest. Again, head north to Silvery Moon, then head east at the fork in the road at Silvery Moon if you're heading to Zamorvan Hall. Yes, that's it, Zamorvan. Yes, he was known as a hero and a giant slayer, yes. Now you've mentioned it. Jorgen's Bane or something like that. Jotun's Bane?
Jotun's Bane, I believe.
That was it.
A fine weapon.
And I believe my friend here, I clap Benjin on the shoulder, would be a worthy successor. No, you wouldn't flinch your sense of strength. You'd barely feel it.
He does it sarcastically.
Some more information for you, I believe. I might find it interesting. Have you heard of Harshnag the Grey? Or the Grim, sorry.
We have.
Yeah.
Now, he works with Waterdeep and the Blackstaff people down there. And rumour has it he's also searching for the problems for a solution to the problems of the giants. Him being a giant himself, I think it's rather perturbed him that his kin are rising up and causing all sorts of bother. I'd keep an eye out for him if I were you. I heard he was heading towards Mirabar way. I'm surprised I haven't bumped into him yet.
We've taken a fairly circuitous route. And we've been, thank you very much, by the way, making very good use of your portals where we can.
No bother. Well, actually, while you're here, I could help you with some other things. Hang on a second. He goes out the room and comes back with this kind of small wooden crate. Hopefully this should be of use to you. It's got like a little coffer, and he hands it to either Cenza or Xanhorn, whichever one grabs it first.
Quite clearly doesn't trust me.
Sorry, Benjin. I don't think you'd appreciate what's inside, but hopefully you can get that nice big sword.
Xanhorn will eagerly look at the box. What's in it?
While I'm going.
So you open up the coffer, and inside it's divided into 6 compartments, each of which contains a scroll.
Ooh.
Upon investigation and reading them, you find there is 6 spell scrolls inside.
Nice.
A scroll of Dispel Magic, a scroll of Bestow Curse, a scroll of Magic Weapon, a scroll of Sending, a scroll of Tongues, and a scroll of Spirit Guardians.
Interesting.
I believe I could certainly make use of a few of these. Havarl might be able to as well. How about you, Xanhorn?
Oh, yes. I recognise a lot of those spells. Well, thank you very much.
This is
just hopefully it'll help you on your way a little bit. Now, is there anything else I can do for you while you're here?
Xanhorn's a little bit overwhelmed with someone actually genuinely offering not just a little bit of help, but actually quite a considerable amount. So he'll say, what have you heard in terms of the giants? Do you know whether there is some kind of... I mean, we've obviously put spanners in their work, so perhaps the original timeline that we discovered has been put off a little bit.
I haven't. I'm hearing mixed things. I'm hearing, like you, that the hill giants south of here are gathering food at an extremely voracious rate. I've heard that already there are food shortages south of here, and to be fair, in your favour, you solved the attack on Golden Fields and did rather well at dissuading that. I think that would have been a catastrophe if that attack had succeeded. So we know that. I've heard, like you, that the fire giants are looking for something, but I don't know what. I'm hearing all sorts of rumours about cloud giant castles appearing, and which in itself is bizarre because cloud giants keep themselves to themselves most of the time. A cloud giant castle sighting is extremely rare.
My understanding is cloud giants can't rebuild castles if they're damaged or destroyed. The technology has been lost to them. So for them to be so open and overt is worrying indeed.
Now, the frost giants, the ones that really have me worried, and unfortunately I'm going to have to keep some of this information close to my chest, but they are after a particularly dangerous artifact, from what I've heard. And they are after a Harper agent which has been dissipated, which has been missing for some decades. Now, I don't know how concerned to be over them because I know, well, my understanding is this item is in safe hands, but no one knows where he is, and let's hope we can find him before the giants do. What worries me is I've not heard anything about stone giants, or even more worrying is where are the storm giants in all this?
Was Zephyros a storm giant? Or was he a cloud giant?
He was a cloud giant. So the storm giants are, well, the most powerful of giants. So are they planning something else? Are they behind all this? Quite worrying.
Indeed.
I believe the fire giants mentioned a Duke Zalto who was looking to elevate their place in the Ordning. I can't believe that would be at the order of the Storm Giants.
Interesting.
So I believe there is at least one schism there.
Interesting indeed. That suggests if they are doing it to increase their holding in the Ordning, they're not working with the other giants. Have we got 5 different threats at our hands? 6 different threats? Or is it just 4?
We know that one of them said that they weren't getting involved. Was that Sansuri? Off the top of my head. We had a map a while ago.
Sansuri may not have been involved with the feint on Waterdeep and the attack on Neverwinter, but she's most certainly involved if she's kidnapped Felgloss and taken the Nightstone.
Mm-hmm.
Or have you forgotten the damage to the village?
No, not forgotten. Yeah, and there's one other thing. Whether or not it's connected, I don't know. But we originally, we met, in fact. We discovered and thwarted a Modron invasion in Waterdeep.
Sleepy.
Yes. Where is Sleepy?
He's in the Undermountain.
Possibly. Or he was, anyway.
Yeah.
So whether that has any bearing on any of this, or it's just some other random side...
that I do not know. That is something I can't possibly comment on. I'm afraid. Although I have been looking into it.
What about that well that you didn't want me to go down? The well in the middle of the pub.
Oh, he's talking about the yawning portal.
Ah, yes.
Oh, you're a very brave man if you intend to go down there.
Well, we need to find out where Sleepy went eventually. A good friend of ours disappeared down there. A Modron.
Was that where Sleepy went?
Yeah.
Yeah. Or at least that's where we were told he went.
Yeah.
So, if I may ask, if I may inquire, what are your intentions, gentlemen? And is there anything else I can assist you with before I bid you good luck and farewell?
I will look at the other guys and say, it's a shame Havarl isn't here. He often knows the right thing to say at these kind of points. But it seems to me, we know that our friend Felgalas is in some considerable pain, and he could certainly help us with the giant threat if we were able to rescue him. And we would get a chance to gain some intelligence from Sansuri and Linar Mal. So that seems like it's probably the most pressing order of business.
Yes.
So
I'd feel better about infiltrating a giant castle if we had a giant Bane weapon.
Yep. So perhaps we can get the weapon, get the or go and get the hippogriffs, fly from there and get the weapon, and fly from there to Linar Mal. Maybe. There is one thing you could help us with. We left that adamantine lump in... God, my brain is going...
Yartar.
Oh yeah, Yartar. And it looks like we're obviously quite busy right now. We're going to have difficulty getting back there in time to do something useful with it. Is there some dwarves that you trust that would give you a reasonable price that we could discuss making their way there, melting it down, and therefore eliminating another threat, whilst perhaps providing some share of the profits? I love that we're negotiating this again without Havarl.
I would, since you are intending with me to make my associates to make a business deal on your behalf, I would suggest you might want to sign over the rights to us, if that makes sense. If we just turned up and tried to sell this item, I don't think someone would believe us.
Reasonable, yeah. Xanhorn, look at the other guys. So it's a ton of adamantine.
Don't worry, we will. I'll make sure you are properly compensated. But just for the paperwork purposes, just you have to scroll the paper and scroll something. Can you just sign that then, please?
I read it thoroughly first.
He's basically just come up saying, I allow the aforementioned individuals to negotiate on my behalf.
Yeah.
I'll look nervous.
To negotiate on my behalf in respect of the purchase and sale of the adamantine. Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And what cuts would you expect from this?
Well, I must admit, we're not interested in profit.
Excellent.
We've already lost 60%? No,
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah, I should mention that we negotiated very hard up from only taking 30% of the profit to a massive 60%. So, yes, it's worth mentioning that we did technically agree to give them 40% for holding on to it. Seemed like the right thing to do at the time. Havarl's turning in his grave.
You can feel the grumpiness aura expanding.
Yeah.
Well, if that's all, gentlemen.
I don't think there's anything else that springs to mind at this point. If we need to contact you, we will no doubt send a message.
No. Just next time you are at the teleportation portal, just speak to one of the representatives there. It's the best way.
Very well.
I'm sure your sending spell is very useful, but I'd like to keep my number private, should we say.
Well, knowing Cenza, that's probably not up to you. But anyway.
I just...
No.
So he stands up then, and the cat jumps off his lap and flaps away slightly. So shakes you by the hand. Thank you very much.
I've got a question.
Yeah, yes, Benjin?
That magic wine, if we took a bottle of it, does it work anywhere?
I can't allow you to have some of that wine. I'm sorry, Benjin. I know it was so nice, but
it was good, wasn't it?
My associate will have scurried that away again.
Apart from the glass that's been thrown on the floor. But we don't know that yet.
Very good.
Thank you. He shakes both your hands. He shakes all your hands, and then as he says, he just kind of waves his hand like that, and you feel that the room kind of just melt away again.
Not again.
So Havarl's just kind of like scratching himself, looking around the room, and all of a sudden he blinks, and these three are back in the room in the tavern.
Yes, not dead.
Congratulations.
Havarl, these two gave away the adamantium.
Oh, straight out with it. I was going to soften him
To be
up.
perfectly honest with you, I'd almost forsaken that anyway.
No, we signed over the negotiation rights so that we can make a profit on it.
Yep.
Arrange for some dwarves to melt it down, and thus removing part of the problem and saving us some unnecessary oversight work.
That's
Fair
just
enough.
details.
I mean, had it been me, I probably would have just sold it for 1 gold piece now, just to spite that bitch.
Oh, man.
Paladin of vengeance, indeed.
That's just me, so...
Oh, dear.
So, you didn't die. Congratulations.
Yep.
Thank you for the meal. Yours are all cold now, and I'm afraid, Benjin, your beer is warm. Where did you go?
We'll retell that we met this wizard. We reappeared unharmed with all our stuff, which is, frankly, a turn up for the books, to be honest. And that we had a discussion about all the giants, where they're generally heading, what their plans are. This guy seemed ever so trustworthy, by the way.
Good. Cenza, did you do any type of checks?
I rather suspect he may have had some mental fortress in place.
Very good. Okay. Well,
he does seem to be a powerful wizard, and I'd rather not go getting inside their minds.
Fair enough. Well, as you said here, if he created the Harper network, then I'm sure he's one for us. So these storm giants, did he give any indication of where we could start investigating for their movements?
I believe we decided that raiding Linarmal was our priority.
Yes.
Well, I think getting a
tactically,
sword.
I
so
always
that we
think
can
ahead.
fight.
So where to go once we've got Fergalas back,
Yes.
and then But
He said that if we need to contact him, we can always contact him through the Harper network. So this isn't a cut-off. We can ask more questions of him once we've got a little further along our path.
lovely. And so we have some idea of what to do to get our friend back. These chaps. What do we do? Do we leave them here?
Ah, yes, they said they'd take care of it.
Take care of it.
Okay, good.
Yeah, but halfway through the discussion, 2 people would have come and just scurried them away.
I'll take the manacles back, though.
And the corpse.
And the corpse. Okay. So, all up to speed then. What now then, gentlemen?
Now, well, we need
Now
to keep...
I suggest we learn to fly some hippogriffs.
Yes.
Is it hippogriffs first, then sword, or sword, then hippogriffs?
How unadvisable would it be for us to part? Because they're in opposite directions.
So, if we get the hippogriffs, we can fly. Right?
Oh, we could fly, get the sword before we fly
Yeah.
to the... Yeah, that's fine.
So, Xanhorn will consult his mental map of the Sword Coast.
Yes.
Steve.
Would you like me to change the view over?
Yes, please.
Ah, yes. Now I remember.
Yes. I remember well.
So, as it was described to me, we need to head up and north, and then over to the
Silvery
east.
Moon.
Up to Silvery Moon, then east to Hawk's Nest, over there on the right, and then we need to head left to Xanhorn Hall to get the other bits, which is on the way back towards where we think.
Towards the Evermoors.
Indeed. So if we go to the nest, pick up the flying things, go to the pub, wait for the swords, blow out. No, hang on. Go and get a sword, kill all the giants.
Well, I've heard tell of paladins who are capable of casting a spell to summon griffins and the like.
Wow.
So
That would be a very powerful spell indeed, I believe.
it is. It's very powerful. But
Out of curiosity, are you a member of the Gauntlet?
No.
Ah.
Right.
What is the gauntlet?
I'll look at Cenza. What is the Gauntlet?
Do I know what the Order of the Gauntlet is?
Do I know it, though?
I do, but to Cenza.
Yes, let's say you do.
Yeah. The Order of the Gauntlet is an order of paladins devoted to goodness and righteousness and defending the innocent, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
They are led by a drunkard named Onfar Froom. They have a particularly handsome bronze dragonborn member, assuming he survives Andy. And generally, they're the good guys. Symbol is a gauntleted hand holding a sword, I believe.
Okay, so
They're your sort of people.
jolly good. Well, how does one become a member of the Gauntlet?
I believe you have to make contact with an existing member.
Right.
It's certainly an idea to seek out allies, and in the fight against the dragons, I believe they would be powerful allies indeed.
Indeed. Okay. Do we know? Is there and since Steve, is there a temple? Is there a temple of Tyr, who is my patron deity? I mean, there might be some monks and priests or other paladins knocking around there.
We're in Everlund, sorry.
Yeah, in Everlund.
So in Everlund, there's some major temples to Helm, Mileki, Corellian, and Lorethian. You would probably find, since Tyr and Helm are quite closely linked, you'd be welcome at the Temple of Helm.
Temple of Helm. That's how we head there and make some inquiries. Steve,
like a
how
start.
do you want me to learn a new spell? I'm just thinking because this is quite a cool, new, powerful spell from Xanathar's Guide. Whether I should do something in story to learn it, or whether I should just go.
I think you
find
have
it."
to wait until you level up. Depends.
Is it Find Greater Steed?
Find Great Steve, which is a level 5 spell.
Yeah, don't paladins get level 5 spells at like level 17 or something?
Well,
I think it's really, really high level for a paladin.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh, wrong.
So, because I'm sure level 5 is the highest level spell slot a paladin can get.
Yeah, level 5, you
Oh.
have to be level 17 to get a level 5 spell.
Oh,
Sorry.
right. No, so it's not my level; it's the level of the spell.
It's the level of the spell, yeah.
Yeah.
I did think it sounded a bit too good.
I mean, Find Steed itself is pretty good.
Mm.
You just can't fly on it.
I just really like the idea of riding around on a rhinoceros with a giant elk on one side and a direwolf on the other.
What we're actually going to be doing is riding a giant rhinoceros with a rat perched on the rhinoceros horn.
Yeah.
And imagine in Havarl's mind, he's got like Flight of the Bumblebees going at like. Dun, 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 dun. Xanhorn's picturing like the weasel with like the penny whistle doing the same thing.
Well, you got the names wrong then. So I think he's imagining riding the Valkyries.
That's
Yeah,
it.
where in fact it's Flight of the Bumblebees.
Close.
Was that an impression of the Lurpak Butterman?
That is the Flight of the Bumblebees. Yeah.
Okay, right, we'll scratch that then. And how do we feel about splitting the party? We get to that Silvery Moon. Some of us go east, some of us go.
Why don't we just all go to Silvery Moon, all go to East, get the Griffins,
Coward.
fly to the sword.
Let's be honest. By the time we get to Silvery Moon, either this place is going to have been attacked by giants, or that place will have been.
Okay, well,
It's
let's
been
go
about
to.
weeks.
Let's go to the temple. Let's go to the temple and see if we can find some, gauntletty people.
Order the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet.
Order of the Gauntlet. I should probably get the name right. Hang on. Order of. Does that sound sensible to everybody? Should we just go do that, or shall
Sounds
I go
good.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. Is you're heading to the Temple of Helm.
Yes, please.
Okay. So, Temple of Helm, quite literally the most cathedral of cathedral-y places you'll ever see in all the realms. If anything represents a Catholic church, it's a Temple of Helm.
Nice.
Is there a collection to rebuild the roof?
No, because the glory of Helm will have rebuilt that roof for them.
Very well.
So, the symbol of Helm, you are met everywhere by the symbol of a gauntleted fist with an eye on the back of it.
Oh, yes.
The symbol of the Helm, the Watcher, he of the unsleeping eye and the vigilant one, as Helm protects. And many people have seen praying to the gods, praying to Helm for protection and guidance. And there are many people milling around even at this late hour.
It does sound very holy.
Is there someone in charge? Someone that is a sort of priest, or
You can see a number of priests. You can see a number of priests as well. People like in robes, that praying and tending to people. You can also see a couple of other individuals in, proper plate armor, overseeing some things and praying themselves.
Okay. So I think first off, I should probably head to some sort of altar space, take a knee, and recant my vows and my oaths, as would be proper behaviour in a place like this.
Xanhorn will try and usher Benjin towards somewhere that doesn't look too out of place, so that they don't clutter up the place too much. And then sticks his feet out and like just takes in the sight.
Yes, I'm going to take a seat on the very back pew and do my own fare, which is sit and read a book.
I'm going to start by finding a priest nearby. How would one address a priest? What would be the correct...
Well, as you go, take your as you kneel and take the vows in kind of in front of you, you hear this voice and go, this kind of booming voice, and go, you don't usually meet a priest of a follower of Tyr in a temple of Helm. I'm sure you're in the right place, man.
Any good place is a good place for a good man, if you know what I mean.
Of course.
Havarl Mashinin, and you are?
I am. Clicking through the book quickly to find his name. I am Sir Barak Nyleth.
Sir Barak.
Well met, sir.
Well met. I'm on an urgent quest. A friend of mine is in grave peril. My friends and I have learned that the good people of Hawk's Nest may be able to help us, but would be more willing to do so if I could prove to them that I was a member of the Order of the Gauntlet.
You're not then.
I am not, no. I'm, shall we say, a little bit more freelance.
I see. That would explain why you're here then.
I am a devout servant of all that is good and lawful, of course, but I have my own personal quest. But I want to see justice brought to those who need it and vengeance taken against those that deserve it. If I could... Being part of something greater than myself would be, shall we say, moving.
Well, I think you've taken the first steps, my friend.
It's very reassuring to hear. What would be the next steps?
Well, I become a member of the Order of Gauntlet. You must prove your worth.
Name the challenge, my friend, and you shall see it done.
Very well. I think
you'll hear Xanhorn call across the hall a little louder than he should do, probably. We've done loads of good challenges. We've done loads of good work. I can tell you the stories.
Just gonna slightly turn my back towards the back of the hall.
I'm gonna nudge him. Sing your song. They'd love to hear it. really big him up.
I could sing the Havarl song.
No, just gonna be casting. Shut up.
This isn't the right place, Benjin. Hasn't got the right ambience.
The acoustics are good though.
Yeah, true.
Is there any holy wine in here?
Oh my god.
Oh God! If only I'd taken the silence spell this morning.
Benjin's looking. I'm looking around to see if there's anywhere where I can take communion. Actually, would I know what goes on in a temple?
It's as far as Benjin's concerned, it's a lot of weird people making prayers to their god. You know? Barbarians don't pray; they smack their foes, and in that way they praise Tempest. Well, I not sure I'm the person who can actually initiate you into the Order of the Gauntlet. And I think actually if you're heading to Horde's West, to Hawk's Nest, then Lord Cavallos is the person to speak to.
Lord Cavallos. Now, if you would be so kind, as I said, my plight is urgent. This friend of mine saved my life. I owe him a great debt. He doesn't have long left. I need to, and I don't mean to rush these things. I agree. I understand there is the need to take time and to really appreciate the ritual, but I do need to expedite it.
I can only offer you the simplest advice, my friend.
Mhm.
Head to Hawk's Nest, speak to Lord Cavalos, and petition him. I'm sure he will see your legs. He looks up and down. Have we met, perchance? You're so familiar about you.
I very much doubt it. I'm not from these parts.
Sorry, you didn't serve in the War of the Silver Marches, did you?
I did, of course.
I probably saw you on the battlefield once or twice then.
I was a very different man back in those days.
Might want to drop that in with Lord Cavalos as well.
I appreciate the thought.
Served in the battles, killed many an orc himself. He did.
Oh, jolly good, as any good man should have done. Thank you very much for your time. I shall bid you a farewell.
Well, good luck with your journey. Hopefully you can find your friend and help. Now, I don't suppose I can convince you to change your mind about this Tear Vengeance nonsense and come join us in Helm.
I'm afraid my plight is a solemn and very serious one. Grave injustice was done to me, and I mean to say it's set right.
I wouldn't have it said any other way. And with that, he claps you on the shoulder.
Yes.
Well met.
Well met, sir. Well
may Helm watch over you.
And Tear watch you. Right. We can head off then, I think.
So you're a gauntlet guy now?
Not quite. There is the Lord Cavalos in Hawk's Nest. I need to beseech him to initiate me into the Gauntlet, the Order of the Gauntlets, and from there we can progress to learning to ride hippogriffs, which I'm sure is very easy.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be easy. Everything's easy for us, right? So let's go find Lord Calvados then.
Yes, let's.
I'm glad I wasn't the only one that thought that.
Don't worry, Ben. I had that exact same thought 5 milliseconds before I read out the word. It's like
they're going to say it.
No, I'd be careful not to say it when I'm reading it.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
What are you talking about? This has gone right over my head.
Calvados is like a drink.
Yeah.
Apple brandy.
Yeah.
Apple brandy, yeah.
That's why I don't know, because I don't drink.
Okay. He's on canon today.
Yeah.
So we need to get northeast, and we don't have flying hippogriffs yet. Presumably, we do still have 2 horses from the.
We have 3 horses, 2 riding horses, and
Boris.
And a cat.
I think
Whatever
Xanhorn's.
happened to our horses again? Did we?
They're in Waterdeep, I think.
What happened to my horse? What happened? Where did it go?
I think they're all in Waterdeep.
It's not in
Did you take
someone's
it with
loft,
you
is
when
it?
you went to the temple when you disappeared for a little while?
I can't remember. I've lost my horse. I can't remember where I lost him. It's like your car keys.
You just need to do that clap thing. Or whistle or something.
You need to whistle, surely.
Yeah. Okay, so let us. Jesus, really. Oh, so are we going to go over the mountain?
So we need 1 more horse first.
Yeah. We could take our chances, and I could just throw some patches. I mean, I might get an elk.
Chances are reasonable. You might be running for a bit instead. We are the champions of chance, are we not? I'm sure it'll be fine.
Well, we've got 2 horses and a horse pulling a cart.
Yeah, we could ditch the cart probably.
But we've took the
Couldn't we
cart.
just sit in the cart?
Or we could do that.
What do we need another horse for?
Xanhorn's like, but we need another. Oh yeah, okay, we could.
Yeah, let's just use
sit
the
in
cart.
yes,
Yeah,
we could tie all the horses to the one cart.
Yeah.
And the 2 horses will be dragging Boris along.
I'll give him a rest.
Yeah.
Poor Boris.
We could put Boris in the cart.
What, get Benjin to pull the carts?
Maybe just tie all the horses to the front. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're going to take the road. We're going to head up to Silvery Moon.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
What wasn't there someone in Silvery Moon we were going to go see? I can't find my Google document from last game. Or the game before.
Silver.
There was something in Silvery Moon. I'm sure of it.
How
There were
does search
multiple
work?
reasons for us to come over here.
Lady Silver Hand.
I think it was just
Silver
go to
Scroll.
Silvery Moon and then go west to Zimolven Hall.
Yeah.
So, okay. Because it was the coin. We had the coin, so we were meant to pass on a message.
We did that.
We did that, and it was just okay. Cool. It's just this sword then.
Yeah, I think so. Halfos Zimolven.
Yes.
Gesundheit.
Where is he? He's in Zimolven. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's go.
So you're heading up to, you're heading by the road, are you?
Yeah, it seems so.
Okay.
Cowards.
Yeah.
Well, the cart's not going to go over it, and someone wouldn't let me go and get more horses, so suck it up, Havarl.
So take it you're going to spend the night in Everlund, and then head out the following morning for Silvery Moon. Yep.
That would make
At
sense.
dawn.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's compared to most of the journey you've been doing, the road between Everlund and Silvery Moon is relatively short and pretty well manned. You basically have an hour or so of seeing guards from Everlund, and it's not long before you start seeing mounted patrols from Silvery Moon heading the other way as well.
Are these Elven patrols?
They are indeed.
They're what, sorry?
Elven.
Elven.
How's
Elven.
Benjin
Right.
feeling?
He just won't look them in the eye.
Does Benjin not like elves?
They try and read my mind if they look me in the eye.
When did that happen?
Where have you been? Like the whole campaign. Xanhorn frequently tries to look in Benjin's eyes just to try and freak him out.
Are you making this up? I don't ever remember that happening.
He just stopped listening to Xanhorn, that's what it is.
Yeah.
The guy's an idiot. Oh, dear.
Do I do it?
Go on.
I'm trying to
Do
find
I
where it's
do it?
written.
What?
What is Cenza up to?
Well, if Benjin's just said this, that elves read his mind.
Yeah, there
No,
you
I
go.
wouldn't.
My superstition, okay, in my bio. If an elf looks you in the eyes, she's trying to read your thoughts.
But only female elves. Or...
Oh, I don't know. Maybe all elves are female. I don't know.
As far as Benjin's concerned.
Yeah.
Xanhorn's been
Are
on
we
his
actually
guard.
having this as a? Are we actually having this as a conversation as we move right along?
I
Yeah.
assume so.
Oh, fuck it. Yeah, why not?
So,
So does that mean that Benjin
Benjin-
thinks that Xanhorn is
Is what? Sorry.
So,
that you're half female?
well, technically, aren't we all? I mean,
Yeah, but some more than
Poor
others.
question.
I think it's just the way it was
Does this mean you're scared of me knowing I can read minds?
Oh, I hadn't thought of that. Benjin's only, yeah. You've put two and two together for Benjin.
Benjin's suddenly
It's not
like,
scared. It's not scared. It's just, it's a superstition that,
Okay.
that I believe
Right.
that they're trying to read my mind. So if they
So
look
now-
me in the eye.
So now you're superstitiously wary of 50% of our group.
Yes.
yeah, that
Or
works.
75, yeah. Or 2/3 of the rest of the group, not including myself.
Benjin, you are my friend and my ally. I would never read your mind unless I felt you were keeping secrets from us.
Yeah, brilliant.
And to be quite honest, I don't think you're capable of keeping secrets.
There's a few secrets on there, maybe.
Ooh.
Actually, there's probably not many secrets on there.
That was a nice way to pass the time.
This all happened in the cart, yeah?
Yeah.
Did I pitch my tent at all? Have we gone out more than
No, we
one
haven't.
night?
No, because you leave in the morning, and by late evening, you arrive in the city of Silvery Moon, which, because of the surroundings, the guard and such like, Benjin basically has to continue doing this because you've basically come to imagine kind of River Run from Lord of the Rings. It's a proper elven city, so it's a forest. It's kind of like built into the very edge of this Silverwood forest that you've just skirted round, and so it's all beautiful elven architecture, and it's all magically
sparkly and
It's quite. It takes you a little bit of a while to find a tavern which Benjin is happy to walk into, but you eventually find somewhere where you can get a bed for the night.
Are there many humans in Silver Moon?
Yeah, there's a good mix of all kinds of races, but there's definitely an increase in elves compared to humans, and what humans you can see, there's not. It seems there's a lot of spellcasters. You can see lots of people are kind of like making illusion spells out in the parks and what have you, and making displays for everyone.
Xanhorn will obviously partake. Minor illusion. He's basically minor illusion all over the place, to the point where someone else has to take the reins of the cart because it's starting to go.
Oh no, you haven't just minor illusion someone taking the reins of the cart, have you? We have a ghost rider.
No, I start speaking entirely in Elvish.
So basically, you get to the tavern and Cenza negotiates the rates for the evening in the room.
Xanhorn's genuinely quite impressed with Cenza's skills, I think.
Oh, okay. Okay, not bad.
Yeah. So after a very nutritious salad and some...
God, it gets better and better for Benjin, doesn't it? Jesus.
And some fine wine. It is the following
that's
morning.
all right.
You head back out, I assume.
I should think so.
Calling the path between Silvery Moon and Hawk's Nest Road is probably being a bit too generous.
Right.
More of a trail that leads between the two mountain ranges either side of you. So you've got mountains directly to the north and south. Because the main road out of Silvery Moon heads west towards Zimorvan Hall.
So I'm going to be we're going between a couple of mountains, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be keeping an extra careful eye out for anything from the mountains.
Do we, while we're in the tavern or while we're in the inn, do we hear any rumblings or noise? Do we get any information about this route to Hawk's Nest?
Check with the barkeep.
Oh, sorry, I thought it'd gone already.
Just make just normal charisma check.
A normal charisma check. Is that just clicking on charisma?
Yeah. There we go. You're basically told that the pass is quite well protected due to Hawk's Nest. You don't find there's nothing of local interest at the moment. You hear a couple of people say, wouldn't go visit that Sunderbar though. Miserable bloody dwarves there.
Sunderbar. Is this a reference to the other group?
No, Sunderbar's that one there.
Oh yeah.
Sunderbar
just beyond.
Maybe they'd be good at smelting adamantine though.
I'd suggest we leave that up to the wizard now that we've negotiated another contract.
Yes, you're right. Excellent negotiating as always.
Right. Onwards to Hawk's Nest then, gents.
We're getting closer and closer to my home. Am I starting to recognise more places?
Well, you are. So you would have you'd know your way around here because your home is quite literally
There.
there. Yeah, so you're about 150, 200 miles away. So yeah, you start to become a bit more familiar with areas. Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So is there anything of significance I would know about round here?
You would have heard about the Hippogriff Riders of Hawk's Nest.
Oh, okay.
So you would have come across them before. You know they basically guard this entire pass.
Right.
The Silvery Moon Pass between the two mountains.
Okay.
What do they guard it from, Benjin?
What do they guard it from?
Oaks.
Standard. Our favourite.
My enemy. Yeah.
So, you head out from Silvery Moon along this little trail. Just make a note of where you are.
Okay, this is ironic. One of my allegiances is with nomadic elves, even though I have a superstition about elves looking me in the eye.
You like being around them, just not looking at them.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so, and then the following day, you get to about there-ish. So it takes you 2.5 days before arriving at Hawk's Nest. So now the scenery's changed. You're no longer on a nice, well-paved, well-treaded road. You've been on this kind of dirt trail that passes in between these hills and winds in between the hills with these two mountain ranges kind of either side of you, which are quite clearly seen. And as you get closer to Hawk's Nest, you see every so often circling ground in the air above you some very large bird-like creature, on which Benjin, with his keen eyesight, recognises as someone riding a hippogriff.
There's one. Pretty much every time one goes past. There's another one.
Can I? What detail can I see?
You can just make out that he is that it's wearing the crest of the Order of the Gauntlet, and that's about it, really.
Oh, okay.
So it's not you head off the road.
Would I see? Sorry, would I see what weapons they're carrying?
They were carrying like a lance.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
jousting.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, I was expecting something that fired arrows or something.
Jousting hippogriffs.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, you head up the pass. There's like a pass heads kind of up into the hills, and the town of Hawk's Nest is perched atop this crag overlooking the pass with this extremely high battlements, and everywhere that all the flags that are rippling in the wind of the pass have all got the Order of the Gauntlet symbol on this mailed fist. And these massive high stone walls, and you head in there, and it's a very densely packed. Calling it a town is a bit too generous. It's more of a village with a small square, which is kind of three-sided. There's a temple to Helm, Torm, and Tyr on the three sides around you, and then there's a busy blacksmith, a leather worker, and then a tavern. Drinking tavern called the Spiked Gauntlet, and two inns called the Hawk's Roost and the Inn of the Silver Sword. And then you've got the keep itself overlooking the pass. So you've actually come quite far up into the hillsides here, looking down.
Okay. To business then, my friends. To the keep.
Indeed.
So let's rock on up to the keep.
So, yes, you head to the keep. You can see the keep has plenty of courtyards where various knights are being trained in the use of riding hippogriffs, and you can see various areas around the place where they're feeding these hippogriffs. This cross between a horse and an eagle that various knights are taking off and doing patrols around. There's not a huge amount of people there, and it's pretty easy to spot who's in charge because there's someone inspecting the parade grounds and pointing out, you there, that kind of thing.
Hail and well met, friend.
Hello. You look new here.
Yes, we have journeyed afar to be here today. I am Havarl Mashinin, a paladin of Tyr. I come to beseech Lord Cavalos.
Ha! You've come to beseech the right person. He claps your hand and goes, I am Arthas Cavalos. Just call me Arthas. We don't need to. Us paladins of Tyr need to stick together, don't we?
Indeed we do. Indeed we. Our maimed god is one of many servants, and I'm proud to serve among them.
How can I be of assistance in our small town?
I look to join your brotherhood, the Order of the Gauntlets. I hear you have a mighty and just cause, and I thought one more soldier amongst your ranks would be appreciated.
In fact, 4 more soldiers.
4 more soldiers, if you need.
He looks at the rest of them.
Yeah, we just wave, I think.
I see.
As my friend Xanhorn is often the one to introduce us, champions of chance, righter of wrongs, of course the bow, righter of wrongs, protector of the innocent. I feel that although they may not be sworn paladins, they are good, decent, lawful folk. We are on a personal and grave quest, and I believe our alignments coalesce here.
Very well. I believe, although I take your word for it, I can't just hand out knighthoods to every man who comes beseeches me. I'm afraid I'm going to ask you to prove your valor. So.
Well, you will have no doubt heard of the champions of chance before.
But equally so, we are always up to the task. Shut up.
Indeed, champions, yes.
I believe
another opportunity for us to prove our worth, our mettle, is one that we will gladly take on for such a noble cause.
It's a new story, Xanhorn. Always worth it.
Indeed.
Well, I think I might have just a test for you. 2 days ago, we came across one of the trade caravans heading from Citadel Felbar to Silvery Moon was attacked by fire giants.
Oh, great!
Our knights were able to
experience with felling fire giants, as it goes.
Then you really are the person for the job. Tyr himself has sent you to us. It would seem.
Let's hope so.
So, of course, my mounted knights were able to dissuade the fire giants from attacking long enough for us to rescue the survivors. But unfortunately, the caravan itself was stolen by them.
Do you know what the caravan was carrying, by any chance?
The main thing we're worrying about is actually the wages for our very knights here.
Oh dear.
Okay. Troublesome.
Now, if you don't mind me saying, this is of course a true test. Because if you are a man of valor, you will go smite these giants and retrieve the wages and bring it back. If you are, of course, a dishonourable man, there's nothing to stop you taking those wages and absconding to who knows where with them. But if you do, don't forget, Tyr himself will...
at all. I was just joking.
Of course, Tyr himself will smite down those who steal from him.
And so he should.
He looks you piercingly in the eye as he says that.
I'm going to unflinchingly just stare back. And so he should. Our cause is greater than mere coins.
And what is your cause, sir?
To rescue a friend in need of rescuing, amongst many. A friend saved my life, saved all our lives. We owe him a great debt, and his life is now in terrible danger. He's
Captured by giants.
Captured by giants. He is, as we speak, being tortured. We need to cease this atrocity.
This is a very honourable request, sir.
Indeed. Perhaps we could do the orc thing afterwards.
Very well. The fire giants attacked.
He just completely glosses over Xanhorn's suggestion. Not even.
He basically puts his arm around you at this point, Havarl, and leads you slightly away from Xanhorn. Strong boxes, several miles east of here. Hopefully you should be able to find the tracks of the fire giants and head them back to wherever they're hiding in the mountains north of here.
Very good. As you can see, we have been waylaid by this cart and a lazy horse. Do you, by chance, have
I'll
two?
cover Boris's ears.
Could you possibly loan us a couple of riding horses so we can make this journey all the faster?
I'm going to have to regretfully refuse your request at the moment. Let's see how you work on your initiative. Walking the path, it's still gets you back down to the roots. Shows a true man who can track down a fire giant on foot.
Your challenge is gladly met, friend. Gladly met.
How far? How many days' walk did they say?
7 miles. That's easy. That's not far at all. It was 7 miles, wasn't it?
Several miles, he said, yes. Yeah.
Benjin looks in the direction of where the giants are and just shouts in giant, come out, wherever you are.
Oh, I pull out my dictionary and try and translate that. Return outside wherever your current location is. Is that close?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Close.
Right then, gents. I think we call it night there. I think that's a good position.
Yeah.
Because
okay.
Otherwise, we're going to have a massive fight on our hands as you track down several giants.
No, I'm sure.
Several?
I'm sure nothing's at the end of this path. It'll all be fine.
No.
Okay.
It's just an orc going, I'm big.
All right, okay. Lovely.
That was good fun.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank
guys.
you, everyone.
Thank you, Steve.
No worries.
Let me dig out that. So, that's it for us for this week. However, the Masters of Fate will be back in a week's time for more calamity. Chaos, yeah. Infighting, the standard. So, until then, and until we rejoin our brave heroes in 2 weeks' time, we will bid you all adieu.
Oh, hello again. I think my internet just died.
You say goodbye. We say... No, the other way around.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Bye.
Good night.